Hello everyone, this is Plankara, and welcome to my universe. Today we're going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. Yesterday, I didn't get quite as much done as I was hoping, but today is a new day. And with a new day comes new things to work on and new things to put together. Just wanted to make some small adjustments around here to make this little area here follow the curve that I've set out on the rest of the strand a little bit better. Something like that, maybe. And then the other big thing that I saw when I was checking the model today was around this area right here, and that I feel like it needs to be a little bit lower. Yeah, so rather than do anything fancy, I'm just gonna grab the two layers here and just grab all the vertices and plop them down. It'll look a little funny until I fix it up, but I think that should help. Yes, that did indeed help. There we go. Yeah, I like that much better. Okay, so now I just gotta fill it in here. And I think I can do that with this layer right here. It's meant to be the area kind of between here, so I'll just use that to fill it in there, and all should be well. Yeah. And then I can just touch up some other areas here and there. Notice that here got a little bit, I don't know, lumpy. Not lumpy in a good way. So I'll kind of smooth some of this out and poke around over here a bit. And then there's a couple of other little big picture things that I want to take a look at here. Like this hair on the back I think might be sticking out too much. So I think I'm going to lower it behind the rest of the head some more. My brain feels like braining a little bit more today than it has in the past, so with any luck, I'll really be able to just get some stuff done today. So we'll slide him on back. Yeah, that really makes it look like her head has gone back. In fact, that might actually be a little bit too much. Let's bring it back up just a little bit there. And then I think I want to loop out the side a bit here, just pulling up here, something like that. This is still pretty rough. I'm not going to perfect it until much later. I just wanted to try something and try to get some of my general ideas in. But now I think it is time to head back over to the bangs and the part here. Where are her hair parts? The areas that I always do first. So I'm gonna do some intense staring around here. See what I see. And right now what I see is this shadow right there. It's a subtle shadow, but it is there, and it needs to be higher. Something like that, maybe? Yeah, I think so. Alright, now I'll try to see if I can finally get this transition color the way I want it to be. 'Cause I was working on that yesterday and having a bit of a bad time. My brain did not know up from down yesterday, but it's doing a little bit better today. So I'll try to get that transition doing what I want it to do, where I make it look a little bit rounder at the top there, like it's laying on top of her forehead. And like we're looking at it from below. I think I actually need to raise it up just a little bit more here. There we go, this is already looking a little bit better. I'm just taking it slow, taking it all in. Trying to figure out what's going on here. So far so good, it's working. I think it's just going to take a little bit of time to refine it to make it just right. I'll go do that, I'll just poke at it and see what happens here. Yeah, looks like it's going up a little bit too high now. Probably take some going back and forth until I find the perfect place for it all. But I'll work my way up this bang and then all into here again. At some point I should probably turn off the rest of the hair. It's gonna start getting in the way, and we can have bald Shalom again. Yeah, I think I'll do that now. This one I might actually need to keep, so I'll keep that on. That one stays, but all of these are gonna go. And I think I'll hide this one too. Alright. So now we can really get going here. Have Shalom, who lost a fight with a razor. It's funny because in the game, she's kind of a meat grinder herself, and now it looks like she might have had a little bit of a bad time with. It's alright, we'll get her hair back, slowly but surely. I've done it many times, it always comes back. It's okay. I promise. And already I can see a few things that I missed. This area is just a little bit flat, so I'm gonna floof it out a bit, make it a little bit rounder. See what happens there. There we go. I think that looks a little bit more like how the bang did beforehand. Yeah. Like it's definitely a little bit flat down there. But I get to make everything a little bit rounder here. Just all around this all the time, and it's wonderful. Probably makes more sense to use a smaller brush here, but I don't feel like changing the size. And this works, so it's fine. I'll just do that. Okay. Looks like I probably expanded it upward a little bit too much there, but I think the idea is a very solid one. Like I said, I get to make everything nice and round. Life is good. So that's just kind of how things look when the upward head turn happens. Everything just starts looking a bit more round. So it looks like yesterday I managed to get kind of the rough gist of a lot of things here. So now I can focus in on really finding the areas that are a little bit different when the head is tilted upward, and kind of emphasizing those to make it look a little bit more 3D. I started looking at a bunch of Live 2D showcases again, and I'm paying close attention for what I see and what I don't, in terms of problems and which areas make things look good and which areas are maybe a bit of unnecessary work. What do I really appreciate when I look at watching these when I watch these characters move? It's like, to an extent, I prefer the showcases rather than watching them actually be used in a live stream, because the showcases are actively trying to make them look livelier and more fun. Like, they're trying to make them look super appealing. Whereas on a stream, it's just mirroring however the real-life puppeteer is controlling them. So somebody going out of their way to make the character look really, really appealing versus someone just going about their business. And naturally they still want to make it look appealing because, I mean, it's their character, it's their stream, it's all important. But a streamer will have many more areas to themselves that can be appealing rather than just the character design and the rigging. They have their personality. Personalities can be appealing too. So just being able to really dig into watching somebody trying to make the art and the animation look as appealing as they can possibly make it has been very interesting. And I do think it's funny how in anime characters, I think what really sells a lot of 3D effect and overall appeal is indeed the hair. Which is why I am spending an eternity getting Shalom's hair right here. I do feel like it is the single most important thing on this model. I'd even go as far as to say that it's quite possibly more important than the eyes. It's kind of funny how that works out because, I mean, if you asked me in a still illustration whether or not the hair would ever be more important than the eyes, I'd say 90% of the time no. It can happen though, I think, if you're doing something very conceptual with the hair. And the hair is just like the main character of the piece, so to speak. It's like, it's what everyone's supposed to see, what everyone's supposed to look at. It's what the image is about. In which case, yes, the hair can be more important than the eyes. But that doesn't happen very often. I'd say in terms of making an image appealing, or anime specifically, I imagine it's a little bit different for more realistic mediums, but for anime specifically, top is the eyes, second is hands. I think the hands are actually the second most important thing. And then third would be hair. I guess you could say that the top would be eyes, second would be expression, third would be hands. But the hands, if used properly, actually feed into the expression and make it look interesting. Like, hands can be very expressive. Honestly, I think hands are more expressive than eyes. It's just with the way the deformation works in anime, the eyes end up hyper-emphasized. So you really can't ignore them. But hands are very important. Learn to draw your hands. You won't regret it. They're so good. So good, so important. And I guarantee that even if you're just drawing portraits from, like, the neck up, just put a hand in there somewhere doing something, and the quality will increase tenfold. Just one of those things. I just think it's so funny how that works out. I remember when I was learning how to draw, I spent so much time emphasizing the face. And then, okay, I remember one time I was drawing one of my friend's characters, and I just could not picture her not playing with her hair. So I drew the hand in there playing with her hair, and it just made everything so much better. And from then on, I became a believer in the hand. That was I don't think I noticed it right away with that, after that particular piece, because I was still a beginner. And I had a specific concept in my mind. But that's the earliest back that I remember just really paying attention to the hands. I think at that point I was still in the phase of people say that I shouldn't hide hands behind things, so I guess I'll try to draw hands. Because I didn't know what to do. Oh yeah, definitely. Next time you feel like you're stuck in a drawing and the hands aren't doing anything in particular, make them do something. Doesn't really matter what. Play with hair. Go wave at something, do a peace sign, who cares? I can guarantee that just getting a hand to do something will change everything quite a lot. Change it for the better. It will change your life forever. Incidentally, I wouldn't be surprised if that's why I want to do something with this hand. So I remember that when I was cutting out the hand, I divided it very finely, so that this way hopefully I could have an animation of her bringing her finger up to her mouth. Going, shh. Seemed very her. I mean, it's literally what she's doing in her P3 art, so... Kind of wanted to roll with that. I thought it'd be cool. We shall see how I do with it when the time comes. Honestly, I'm just kind of looking forward to being out of hair hell. And like I said, the hair is important. And when I look at those Live 2D showcases to see what really stands out to me, a lot of the quality really does come down to how well did the rigger do the hair. Other things matter, but honestly, I just feel like the hair and all that is what really sells the angles and how much 3D effect and how 3D the character looks. When the hair looks flat, everything looks flat. There's always this certain round quality to the ones that I think look good. That a lot of the ones that I don't think look as good kind of lack. I'm not quite sure how to describe it without examples, and I kind of don't want to be pulling up examples of people that I think do it badly. That just seems incredibly rude. So you just have to take my word for it. I'm doing my best to kind of emulate some of these things that I've been seeing that I thought worked incredibly well. And some of it is just little details on these highlights, which is why I keep kind of working these areas so much. It is surprisingly important. In these areas near the eyes, I really like to get just as perfect as possible, because that's where people look. I think on the hair on the outside, as long as I have, like, the general idea correct, I think it's fine. Not that that's gonna stop my perfectionism, of course, but here, I want to just really dig into all those details. Yeah, that's a bit better. Still not quite perfect, but it's coming together. It definitely is. I know it looks small and it's probably hard to tell what I'm doing, but I assure you, it's working. It's coming together, I believe. I just need to get everything into the right spot here. So odds are I might end up spending just a few days on just getting the bangs right. Because although I study hard and I try hard, I'm still fairly new to all this, so I have some ideas of things to do, but it takes me a little while to get the implementation down. My advantage isn't relative skill level, it's just raw tenacity and ability to keep working at it until it finally works out for me. I don't let my art win. I will wrestle it to the ground until it cooperates with me. And I'm just willing to rework the same area over and over again until I get it right. This is why it used to take me like 4 months to actually draw anything. So I think it'll be a while before I do another model after this one. I think I want to do some animated illustrations. But when it does come time to do another model, or if there's a specific character you'd want me to draw, definitely let me know who you'd like to see. Otherwise, I'll just pick someone. I'll pick whoever I think is pretty. It's like, to be fair, in Path to Nowhere, I think the character designs are pretty fabulous, so pretty is pretty much everyone, but there are some that I like more than others. I'm always sad that I have so few ideas for Enfer, because she was kind of a sideshow at her own event, and her interrogation wasn't that good. But because her character design is my favorite. It's so pretty, and just a lot of the little details on it, and it's so nice. Lots of very subtle Eldritch inspiration into it, and I think it's cool. Super cool. And then given some of my art styles, I suppose it's not surprising that I like the ones that are heavy on black, white, and one other color. Like Adela and Oak Casket. Adela with the black, white, and blue. And Oak with the black, white, and green. It's like they know my aesthetic, man. So I'm looking forward to drawing some more, because I just really, really do like the character designs in this game. Hello there, Anubis. How are you today? I am just trying to get these bangs looking good here. I'm being very, very particular about it, because it's the area, like, near the face, so focal points. I'm doing pretty good today. Everything's moving well for me today, so it's all going quite well. I think I'm able to just get some kind of subtle effects that I really like. Very, very subtle, so I'm not sure how noticeable a lot of what I'm doing at the moment is, but it's all good. I think it'll all contribute to make the final version look very nice. That was probably too much. Oh, it really wasn't. Nice. Okay. I thought I moved the spot too much, but I did not. Cool. The beginning here is always the hardest part for me, because there's not a lot to go on here. Everything looks kind of funny, and it's the spot, like, right in the middle of her face. So it's important to get all the details looking really good. So it always just takes some time. Thank you. Right now, we're in a funny bald face. That's okay. The hair will come on slowly but surely. There we go. So I'm making some of these highlighted points just ever so slightly rounder to make it look like we're seeing her from below, since she's tilting her head up in this angle. I have to treat it with a lot of subtlety. Just a lot of little tiny movements coming together. Because if I do it too much, it starts looking squirmy and a bit strange. But if I don't do it enough, then it looks flat. So there's a balancing act to be had here. Just trying to get the relative roundness the way I want it on those little strands right there. But I think if I get it right, it'll look pretty good. The trouble is getting it right. That's always the hard part. It's easy to do it wrong, less easy to do it right. Just how it is. Are the bangs new? No, this is the same art that I've been working with the entire time. I just have a bunch of layers hidden. So right now I'm working on the upward turn. I have the left, the right, and the bottom done. So now I'm doing the last one here before the corners. Probably gonna go touch up the left and right a little bit too. But before I do the corners, that is. But for now, finishing the upward turn first. It's okay, making models like this is just very time consuming, so I'll probably be working on this for quite some time. Like, there's no way I'm gonna have it done by the end of October, for example. Not at the pace that I'm going. But it takes time. And I am slow. It is a long time. I'm probably making it look harder than it is, but I am fairly new to rigging, so I haven't learned a lot of the good ways to go about things and all that stuff, so I have to do a lot of trial and error, and I am also very much a perfectionist, so I notice a lot of problems and then I want to go back and fix it all. And it just takes me a while to get through it all. So while I do think rigging is challenging, the main issue is just that I am thorough, I am slow, and I am new. Truly a perfect storm of making things take much longer than they need to. That, I'm also working with really detailed art. The level of the detail on the art means that I have to really slow down and pay attention to many things. Which also is making it take longer. But it's okay. The art in Path to Nowhere is really pretty, so I'm happy to be working with it. It makes me happy. Yeah. I've been having a good time with it. Alright, and I think I've almost got it the way I want it. Almost. There's a lot of time for a couple of little strands here, but I think I like the angles on it, and now I can start working my way back over into the highlight over here. Right, this time I was focusing mostly on like the edges of this bang here. So at the start I worked on this one, and then I started doing this area right here. But it looks like it's almost there. It's got a little thing right here. Right there. Looks a little bit funny still. Probably just need to tuck it in a bit. I pulled things out pretty far when I was trying something earlier, so not too surprising that I might have overdone it just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. We just fix up that line there. It's getting a little bit wrinkly here. So I'll fix that up. Kind of slide things over. There we go. And eventually that end will meet up with another strand that I currently have turned off. But it's okay. Having those strands turned off makes it a bit easier for me to figure out where some of these other ones should stay. I can kind of focus on them all one at a time. And not get confused. Alright, so now I'm going to start going into this highlight on the bank here. Just going to try to get that shape around it right. Because like on here there's like this super light area and then there's a little bit less light area. So I'm trying to get the shape of the super light area to work out here. I think I just need to take the entire area downward a little bit here. So let me just grab all the vertices here. There we go. I think that should be enough. And I'll just move it down a little bit. And one by one, everything will just gradually come into place here. Yes, that helped a lot. Cool. Now it's just a matter of getting that center vertex in the right place. And now some of these outer ones. Oh yeah, like I said, things are moving pretty well today. It's like the past few days had not particularly been cooperating with me, so it's nice to see everything moving well today. My brain decided to take a vacation the past couple of days. But I think it's back. At least for today. There's no telling what it might do tomorrow, but today, it is here, and I can use it. Use it I shall. Yep, I think everybody's does sometimes. That's why you gotta appreciate when it's here. That, and maybe sometimes forcibly drag it home. It's like, don't let your brain do what it wants. There are times and places for it to be able to do what it wants. But I am personally of the opinion that people should rule their brains and not the other way around. Go kidnap it if you have to. Alright. Looking good. Still just got some minor shape things that I want to fix up. Need a smaller one. There we go. Just need to fix the shape right around here. Yeah, there we go. That's starting to work out now. Now I can start fixing up that dark part. The little line there on the outside of the highlight. Things are kind of sliding downwards, so I'm gonna slide it all back up. There we go. Did that solve the shifting problem? Mostly, yes. Might be getting a little bit too round on the top. Let me zoom out and get some perspective here. Yeah, I think it's perhaps a little bit too round. Always a bit unfortunate to say, but it does happen sometimes. So I just kind of gotta flatten things around here a little bit. As much as I do enjoy making the hair very, very round and floofy, there are limits to what I can get away with. Gotta respect the art that was there in the beginning. Otherwise, everything's just gonna look weird. But I think this might actually be the last part that I need to touch up on this particular bang. Because I think with that, everything will be pretty much complete there, or at least complete enough that my present self is satisfied with it. We'll see what the me of tomorrow thinks. The me of tomorrow is always a bit pickier than the me of today. She's great at spotting problems. Alright, I'm gonna do some intense staring around here, just make sure everything's where I want it to be. Yeah, still just a little bit around the top there. Everything's still not quite in the right spot there. It's okay, you should do a lot to make your future self happy. Your future self will appreciate it, I promise. I compliment my past self all the time. Even just when working on this model, just the level of detail in the cutting has been very nice. And the level of detail in a lot of the meshes has also been very nice. And it's all because my past self put a lot of effort into both of them. She did a great job. And it's making my present life so much easier. So I think everybody should do something to make their future self happy. Then your future self can go look back at your past self and be like, yes, good job, past self. You did it. And now life is easier. It always reminds me of some stuff that I've heard people say of just like, you know, it can be nice to be lazy, but if you don't take care of the stack of dishes in your sink today, your future self will have to deal with it tomorrow. And if you do take care of it today, your future self will look at that empty sink and be like, ah, yes, I no longer have to deal with this. My past self is great. And it's wonderful. Alright, how's that highlight there? It's the way I want it to be. It's squirming a little bit too hard for me to get away with such an extreme little divot there. So let's flatten it out just a little. See if I can keep this a similar shape without just having everything look like it's about to squirm off her face. Because I think the idea is good, I just gotta get the right execution here. Tends to be how it goes. I understand a lot of things conceptually, but implementation... well, still gotta work on that part. Comes with the territory of learning how to do things. It's fine. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's a little bit of progress. So right now I'm looking at this kind of dark area in the highlight. A little dark line through there. And I'm trying to get this into a good spot. So right now it seems a little bit squirmy and uncomfortable there. I mean, after all, you don't squirm if you're comfortable. If you're comfortable, you just sit still. So I'm trying to get rid of all the squirming and make them content in their new home. Just gotta find the right distance for everything and all that good stuff. Oh yeah, that's already a lot better. This one I don't think I'm gonna do any particular effects with, I'm just trying to make it so it doesn't look weird. Alright. Admittedly, I wasn't quite expecting this highlight to be quite so difficult, but I think it'll be okay. There's a surprising number of little vertices around it, so hardly surprising that there's a lot to it. And I mean, it's a nice shiny highlight. It's very noticeable, very easy to see. So I suppose it makes sense that there'd be a lot more to it than just looking at it might suggest at first. Maybe once I space those vertices out a little bit better, then everything will work out. Yeah. Definitely worked out much better. Yeah, and I even got it to kind of keep that kind of interesting shape change that I thought would help the effect. And indeed, I think it is. Alright, so I think for the last few minutes before I'll probably stop, I'm going to just work on this area. Right now I think there's way too much of that shadow showing. And I did just move the entire thing, the entire bang at the beginning of this stream, so not too surprising that things are a bit off there. Let me actually get a really big one here. And just... I have a vertex selected. I'm just gonna pull all this back here. Doing it like this is probably easier than moving each one individually. No need to create a bunch of extra work for myself when I don't have to, after all. Then I'll just gently guide all of these into place. There we go. That's much closer. I think the top is still off, but the rest is definitely doing a lot better. Alright, let's get her chin in this. This way I can get a nice big picture perspective of how things are moving. Honestly, so far so good. Fortunately, not a lot needs to change here. And even though I moved down that underneath area and her bangs here at this area, this morning it looks like everything else was already in pretty decent places relative to that. So it was just a big error that I needed to fix up, and now everything's doing much, much better. Makes me glad that I found it. I've said before that the first step to figuring out how to fix a problem is realizing that it's there. Before you even know it's there, it's basically impossible to fix. Gotta see it first. Okay. So I think I have most of this looking good now. And it kind of means that tomorrow I should be able to turn on more hair. Actually, I'll probably end up turning more hair on today if everything is already this close to being right. Because I still got more time before I gotta go. Getting a little hungry, but I'm not starving. Yeah, there we go. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the top part just right until I get some of the layers around it for context. But I think that's a good start there. So let's see here. No, not you. Where's my underneath? You? There we go. Okay. And then connecting hair. That will be next. I think the next thing to really work out is the tunnel. The area that I call this because it looks like a tunnel to me. So I think that will be the next area that I get. And indeed, with a little bit of extra context here, there's a couple things I need to fix up on the bangs. Such things tend to happen as I keep adding more strands. Things look fine on their own, but when it comes to movement like this, it's all about how it looks relative to all the other pieces. So once I start adding more pieces, well, there's more context to be had. And that means something that might have looked fine before may not quite be right. Where is it? I have it on. I lost track of my layer. Where is it? Okay, there it is. It's alright, I do it all the time. It's fine, I always find it in the end. I just get a little bit lost sometimes. So I have, what, 30-something hair layers? It's only natural that I get a little bit lost occasionally. Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. Okay, so the next part to figure out the other half of the tunnel here, the one that's on the connecting hair. Where do you belong here? Because right now it kind of looks like it's expanding rather than turning upward. Can't have that. Her head is only turning. It is not expanding. Expanding is not the word that I would use to describe that. So I just gotta work out the right shape here and all that good stuff. But I can tell that my brain is starting to get tired. So I probably don't have that much more in me today. But I will try with the last bit of energy that I have to get the shape of the tunnel at least relatively correct. But I think that will be the last thing I do for today. Gonna get that tunnel super tunnely. It's gonna look great. Admittedly, whenever I look at all this, I'm just like, man, I can't wait for hair physics. I'm so excited. So excited for the hair physics. But I gotta be patient, gotta tell myself, gotta wait until all the head angles are done. Does not make sense to do it before the head angles. Or maybe it does, but I don't wanna. I gotta reward myself for doing good things. Let's see here. Kinda looks like this guy might be moving up too much. Let me take him and we'll just push it down just a little bit there. I'll need to fill in some holes later, but that's fine, I can do that. Okay, maybe not quite that far. That was a little bit too much. Where'd it go? There it is. No. Okay, there it is. See, this is how you know I'm getting tired. Losing all the layers all the time. Let's get her chin in there so I can really see how the perspective is all working out. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about the top of the side bang here yet. In some ways it kind of looks okay, in some ways it looks like it's sliding upward a bit. I think that might be something that I have to look at with a fresh brain tomorrow. So I think this is where I will end for today. So thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, or any creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message or at me on the social media application of your choice, and I'll take a look and maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.